Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that very auspicious introduction. Very kind of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Um, we enjoy giving these Saturday presentations, these Saturday trainings, to hopefully help you build your FX business and your cash FX business. And we try and bring you information that is both relevant and useful to you. And a lot of the times I base the trainings on feedback that I get from my team and questions that I get asked. And today what I want to cover is leadership points, because I get a lot of questions about leadership points, but I also understand through talking to not only my team, but people in other teams, that there are a lot of people in Cash FX who don't understand the leadership points or how they work or how to use them for the benefit of their business. So I'm going to come at this at a slight angle, but I want you to just bear with me, because you'll get where I'm going eventually. And you know, the important I'm going to give at the front, the information I'm going to give at the front is important. So it's important to know that most people who join a business like Cash FX join because they see this kind of business as a way to solve an immediate problem. And that immediate problem that they have is lack of money. Okay. They can find the money to join the business, but they view it as a life raft, as a way to get money quickly, because they're in negative cash flow in their lives. And Richard always says, time and time again, you have to treat Cash FX like a business. It is a business. And because people don't approach a business like ours as a proper business, they never adopt a business mentality towards that. So most times they live in hope. I hear this a lot in my team and in other teams. You know, people say, I hope I can achieve this. I hope I can make money. I hope I can get to executive. I hope this, I hope that. One of the things that you'll never hear leaders say is, I hope. What leaders say is, I am planning to. I'm making a plan to. I will. They don't say, I hope. Because if you're a leader and you're a business builder and you have a business mentality, you don't live in hope. You basically make plans and you execute plans. And that's why most people live in hope as opposed to working the business. So it's imperative that you treat your Cash FX business as exactly that, a business. As Richard says, treat your Cash FX business as a business. In other words, be business minded, make a business plan and stick to it. Now, when you run a normal business, such as I do, you need to consider many, many, many things. Things like money in, those are sales, money out, which is overheads and costs, profit and loss, are you making enough to survive? And the most important of these, cash flow. Can you survive and grow? And it's your cash flow that dictates whether you can do that, okay? So we have a saying in business, and if you've ever been in business, you'll hear this saying, cash flow is king. Cash flow is the oxygen that your business needs to breathe and survive. Above all else, cash flow is king. If you have no cash flow, you have no business. Cash flow is the inflow of money versus the outflow of money from your business. And looking at your future cash flow can predict whether or not your business will survive. As many people now during the coronavirus thing, business owners are looking at their cash flow and wondering what the hell they're going to do, because they can see their business isn't going to survive. And there are two types of cash flow. There's positive cash flow, and that's where the future inflow of money is greater than the future outflow of money in your business. And there's negative cash flow, and that's where the future inflow is less than the future outflow. In other words, you've got more money going out than you've got coming in, whereas positive cash flow, you've got more money coming in than you've got going out. So just to give it a simple graph, if you've got more money coming in than going out, you're in a good position. You've got positive cash flow. If, on the other hand, you've got more money going out than money coming in, you might be in a position a month or two down the road where you're broke, or you've got to go and borrow money from somebody to keep your business afloat. You never want to be in negative cash flow. The problem is many people live in negative cash flow. They live their daily lives in negative cash flow. So they treat their online business like a piggy bank and they keep raiding it. And what this does, it just creates more negative cash flow and they end up killing the golden goose. You know, Richard talks about killing the golden goose. We did a training which is available in the OneDrive area a few weeks back about how not to kill the golden goose. I'm not going to go into it here, but you end up creating negative cash flow. Okay. And this is because money's a dog. Most people in this kind of business chase the money. And money's like a dog in as much as that, you know, if you play a game with your dog, the more you chase it, the more it'll run away from you. And then when it starts to raining and you want to go home, you start calling the dog and then you start chasing the dog again because you want to put the lead on it, but the dog thinks it's a game, it runs away from you. Okay. And you're getting annoyed and frustrated and wet and cold, and the dog doesn't care because the dog thinks it's a game. The more you chase money, the more it will run away from you. Okay. So business owners, they don't chase the money. Good business owners don't chase money. They're not focused on the money. The money's a byproduct of what we do here. Okay. And I'll come on to that in a bit. But business owners don't chase money. So the question is, if you're not supposed to focus on the money, then what are we supposed to focus on in our Cash FX business? Well, the answer to that question, drum roll please, is leadership points. The more points you have, the more money you have. The more points you have, the more money you will have. Okay? Leadership points are the key to building a successful Cash FX business. Ask any leader in Cash FX what they spend most of their time looking at in the back office. And the answer will be the same across every leader. They spend most of their time looking at the leadership points. Points are the real money in Cash FX. The cash we earn is the byproduct of leadership points. Okay, remember I said the more leadership points you have, the more money you have, the more leadership points you have, the more money you will have. Points are the real currency in Cash FX. And so many people don't understand this when they have their Cash FX business, that points are the currency. Build points, focus on points. That will build your business. Ask any leader, myself, Richard, Hazel, Justin, Ron Pope, we all focus on points. So how do you earn points? Well, every time a pack is purchased or upgraded in your team, you will earn some points. The volume of points you earn is equal to 50% of the price of the pack or the upgrade. Okay. So for example, if somebody buys a new pack within your team for $300, you will get 150 points added to your points balance. If somebody upgrades from a $300 pack to a $500 pack, the price difference between $500 and $300 is what they'll pay. So therefore, the sale, if you like, is $200. Therefore, you'll earn 100 points because you get half of the sale value. Okay. So you get points on upgrades and points on pack purchases. Effectively points on everything that happens in your business. So every time a pack is purchased or upgraded anywhere in your team, down all levels to infinity, you will earn some points. And these will be added to your leadership points balance. So here, for example, somebody in your team bought a 300 pack, you got 150 points. They introduce somebody at $500, you got 250 points. They introduce 3 people, you got a total of 37,500 points there. Then they introduce somebody at 500, you get 250 points. Everywhere a pack is purchased or upgraded in your business, no matter how far down, you will get the points. Okay. It's not like the unilevel or the matrix where it goes down to a certain number of levels. It's to infinity. Your whole organization, you earn points on. Okay. It's important to note that you do not earn points on your own pack purchase for the sake of leadership points, but you must have a minimum of 500 points for yourself. In other words, you must have a minimum $1,000 pack to start ascending up through the ranks. Okay, you don't earn points on your own pack purchases except your own personal points that qualify you for things. I'm not going to go into that here. So when we talk about points that are added, this is the same as cash inflow, if you like. Points inflow is almost like cash inflow. Okay, when points are added to your leadership points balance, these points will stay on that balance for 30 days and then will be deducted. So the points deducted is the outflow. Remember we saw the chart with the inflow and the outflow. Well, points added is inflow, points deducted is outflow. Okay. So for example, if somebody in your team bought a $1,000 pack, you would have earned 500 points. And let's say that was today, those points would be added today. What it means is also that on the 26th of October, those 500 points will be deducted. Okay. So points will get added today if you introduce, or somebody in your team introduces somebody at $1,000. But a month later, 30 days later, those points are going to drop off your points balance. So everything is calculated on a 30-day rolling period. So for example, if you introduce somebody on a $10,000 pack tomorrow, the 27th of September, 5,000 points will be added to your balance. On the 27th of October, those 5,000 points will drop off. And I'm going to show you a dramatic example of that later when I go into my live back office. So points equals cash flow. I want to embed this in your mind that your cash flow in Cash FX is not the money, it's the points. The points is your cash flow. Treat the points in your Cash FX business as the cash flow in your business. Don't focus on the money. Cash FX generates. Don't focus on that, because it's only the points that can predict the future income of your business. The money you earn is history. You've already earned that money. It can't predict your future income. Only the points can predict your future income in Cash FX. So that's where your focus should be. That's why leaders like myself and Richard and other people are always looking at our points. It's where we spend most of our time. So let's just look at that graph again and look at it in terms of points and 30-day rolling periods. So a positive points cash flow is where somebody is continually team building, i.e. personally bringing people into their team and helping their team build people into their team, and where you're always adding more points than are being deducted, you will always be in a positive points cash flow situation. Okay. And again, I'm going to show you an example of that later. However, let's look at the horror story. If you make a good start in your Cash FX business and you start bringing people in, obviously your team building points are going to be greater than the points being deducted. But after 30 days, those points start being deducted. And if you stop being active and stop helping your team build and stop building yourself, there comes a point where some of those points will start to deduct, but you're not really adding more points on. So there'll be a crossover point where the points being deducted start to become greater than the points being added over that 30-day rolling period. And that's why some people notice that their points go down rather than go up. Well, the resolution to a points going down situation is team build. Okay. Build your business, because that will rectify that situation. It will. Trust me.